this program shows just another example of a function, but in this case, the function definition itself, you'll see here in the heading, has 3 parameters, whereas our previous one had 1. And this is just showing you that you can have any number of parameters. In this particular example, you can see there are 3 integers, but you can use whatever data types you want: doubles, booleans, characters, strings. So what's happening here in the main program, now, well, let me just come back here. So you can see that the function itself will be sent 3 pieces of data, and then it'll output the sum is, and then it'll add those 3 variables together and display it. So you can also see here, this is the heading of my function, which matches the prototype of my function, very important, with a semicolon at the end. So in the main program, I'm going to prompt the user to enter 3 integers, and they're going to be stored in value 1, value 2, and value 3. So what's going to happen is value 1 is going to get passed into num1, value 2 is going to get passed into num2, and value 3 is going to get passed into num3. And that's really how parameters work. It's just the order of them. You can see they don't have the same name, value 1 and num1, but the compiler understands that the first parameter will be passed into here, the second will be passed into here, and the third will be passed into here. So here I'm just going to put in 3 integers, and then it'll say the sum is 60. So when I enter 10 into value 1, then, and 20 into value 2, and 30 into value 3, the 10 will get passed into num1, the 20 will get passed into num2, and the 30 will get passed into num3. And then inside the function, I need to refer to them by these names here. That's kind of how it works. Now it's important to note that I could not do something like this, because value 1, value 2, and value 3, they only have meaning where they're declared. They only have meaning inside this main program. The function itself does not know what those are, and you'll see the red squiggly lines under them. So if you have information in your main program, in this case these 3 values, that you want to send to the function so that the function can use them, the only way to get them from the main program to the function is right here in your actual argument list, right? You're going to pass this into the first, this into the second, and this into the third. That's the only way that you can get information from your main program into a function, is by passing it there. Okay? All of these examples are what's called passing by value. It would be a good idea to review in the textbook. Figure 6-7 shows you a little bit more of how it works, the idea of passing that information, and then figure 6-8 actually shows you what happens is when this function call executes, this value 1 gets passed into memory into a new variable that's called num1, and whatever's in value 2 gets passed into num2 into a new variable called num2, and value 3 from the main program, that value, whatever it is, gets passed into a parameter, a new memory location, and it's these new memory locations that are used in the show sum function. So this is described again in figure 6.8, so it's important that you take a look at that in the textbook.